Hawk is a guard. He wasn't taking CJ's spot. He was going to take Jose. And go ahead.
Now, James, this recently, it was a small sample size. But in the playoffs versus the Thunder, I mean, I seen Hawk come in the game and make an immediate impact with the ball, without the ball.
I don't recall that at all.
I mean, you're right. I bet you don't. Willie put him in for about two damn seconds.
It was trash minutes. I remember that.
I about to say, I don't recall.
I went on a whole spill, but y'all ain't here because I unplugged myself.
DC, it wasn't trash minutes. It was like in the beginning of the game for it just
he probably came and hit a few 3-pointers. But my thing, what I was saying about Hawk, man, is we have guys on the defensive side of the ball, a la Dyson Daniels, right?
He gone.
That I know. But I'm just saying, he gave you literally damn near hardly nothing offensively. Got a little better last year, right? But we find minutes for him because his skill set and what he can do defensively is so special, right? Probably one of the better, on-ball point of attack defenders in the NBA. Right. We ain't got him now, but that's a real thing.
A lot of people say he was better than Herb.
He was at point of attack, being on. Yeah, he was, man. Yeah. But as far as overall defense and everything I heard we do, hell no, it ain't close. But with Hawk, man, you looking at somebody that the coach compared to Ray Allen and Steph Curry, right? This dude is a movement shooter that can get the ball, man, jump in the air, be sliding sideways and hit that shit and do stuff like that consistently. You talking about somebody that, to me, the skill set he had, man, he's a pure shooter. He's not just one of those guys that can hit 3-pointers. This dude is made to be an ultimate shooter. Like if he reaches his full potential, he could be one of the best shooters in the NBA.
He can
ever.
But when you aren't when you aren't the top 3 or 4 in the rotation, I'd say 5, but I said the top 3. Look. The top 3 guys, right? Those are the guys like, okay, they can have some laps and stuff like that because they do other stuff so greatly and efficient that you can't compare, right? Hold on, let me go to another thing. Based off what I just said, when you think about what DeJounte Murray said about Pop and also what Kawhi Leonard told him, he said, when you are a role player, don't worry about the scoring and stuff like that. What's going to get you on the court, and this is everybody. This is why I struggle with the whole Willie Green stuff, because this ain't a Willie Green thing. This is a coach thing. This is what they do. The greatest ones say, motherfucker, if you are a role player and you can't come in here and do nothing but score or shoot, I can't help you. I need you to do the other stuff. I need you to be out there because I have Zion that's gonna give me 30 points. I have Brandon Ingram to give me 30 points. I have CJ McCollum. I have DeJounte Murray now. I have Trey Murphy. I have those guys that's going to give me the points that I need. I need a motherfucker that's going to go out there and jump on the floor and dive for the balls. I need a motherfucker that's going to defend and sit there.
You also need snipers, guys to spread the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
I understand it,
but
you have guys that come in and just, hey man, like LeBron, you know what I'm saying? He wants shooters. You still have to have shooters to spread the floor because that opens up the paint.
Exactly. He wants
that's
shooters.
The same thing with Zion. Isn't that not a role? Because you still have your Bogdanovich. You know what I'm saying? And they're not the greatest defenders.
I'm about to say, hold on. You brought up Bogdanovich. He played for.
That was just one. But I'm just
saying. Go ahead.
Kennard. Those are their roles.
But again, you talking about Luke Kennard on the main Memphis roster with everybody healthy is probably your 12th man. Huh? Your 13th man. Yes, he is. Like if you think about,
it don't matter. They find a way.
No, wait. Let me finish. No, but he's not going to play this year if everybody is healthy. He's not going to play.
Who knows?
Somebody like Luke Kennard always gonna play.
Okay, I give you another example.
Well, you need shooters out there.
I give you another example. Not the year that Miami Heat made it to the finals. Mm-hmm.
In the
year before that. No.
Which one?
Recently, it was when they played when they lost to Denver.
Okay.
Mike Miller.
The summer before, I think it was the summer before the summer before that, they gave Duncan $80 million, right? Because he could shoot the ball, he won for.
They was tripping.
There was a point where they needed shooting.
Name somebody else.
But he. Wait, no! You telling me to name shooters? That's what I'm doing. Everybody.
That was a mistake. That was one mistake though.
Okay, every shooter. But see, that's my thing is that again, if y'all would rank Spoelstra as one of the top coaches of the league, you say he probably 1 or 2, right, in the league right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, that man Duncan could not see the fucking court because he was a cone on defense. It wasn't until they started getting depleted on injury to the point they had no choice but to put this motherfucker in the game. Like that's how it was. If you don't. And I skipped Duncan.
No. You see Duncan Robinson as a horrible defender. You think Hawk is as bad as Duncan Robinson? Because what I see in Hawk,
yes,
I see a guy who doesn't understand. Hold up, I see a guy who don't understand the defensive philosophy, or he's trying to adapt or be able to learn how to play defense in the NBA. When you go look at Hawk in college, man, and you look at Hawk, his ability. What he can do, I think he has all the makings to be a very solid defender. I don't see him as this horrible defender. It's a lot of mental things he's trying to. I see him; he get caught on back cuts and shit like that a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he know what he's doing. He know where his help at, and he in front of a guy. People just abusing him and tag teaming and keep going at him. That's what they did. CJ McCullough though. Hawk is not a dude, man. I think that's a horrible defender. He needs minutes, and he needs to get comfortable out there. And I think you'll be surprised what you see. This dude, a borderline fringe guy that could be a starter for us in the future, man. He could.
I don't see that at all.
He could replace CJ McCullough, man. Not his dribbling, and creating his own shot, self creation, but them 3-pointers. He could replace CJ with that.
I don't see that.
If we trade him, James, and he go to somebody, you mark my words, bro. We gonna be fucking sorry.
But I don't. But see, my thing this here is like, okay, when you're building your team and stuff like that, you find out who your 3 core guys is. Everybody else is tradable anyway. I don't really give a damn who it is. Like it's really more like if you think about the Celtics and stuff like that, they main 2 guys. They still
in drafting him, you know.
Because you had the pick, and at the same, because they really wanted to trade the pick, but it's just like, okay, we got the pick. Okay, what's the best guy that we feel that, huh?
But they should have did that then. But the thing is that they talked about that year. They talked about how the team needed shooting. Like that's one thing. The 3-point shooting has been hurting the Pelicans. We heard that a lot over the summer and. When they drafted him, it was like, okay, we got a shooter. You know what I'm saying? It's a shooter's league.
I hear all of that, and y'all keep missing my main point. My main point. If you're not Steph Curry, if you're not these guys that are world benders type players and stuff like that, that can break stuff, that like they will allow you to be lackadaisical or do certain things on defense. Because of the fact that you're so fucking good offensively and everything else as a player that we'll find other people to help you do that stuff. He is not that. So you have to find your niche in the because again, yes, you need shooting.
And definitely shouldn't have said what he said because that was crazy. Ray
Allen and all that.
He compared him to Ray Allen.
But a lot because of being a movement. He said
it's like, dude, nobody benches or gets DMPs if you playing like Steph, and that's what he said. It's like, dude,
he compared his style of offense as far as being a movement shooter, and he said there's not too many people that come in this league with those abilities. One of the reasons why he got the fucking Ray Allen shit is because he went to UConn. Like that's the other thing is too. Nobody in the world believe this man coming out. He said he has that skill set that they have. He didn't say he was the same caliber of type of player coming out of
college. Utilize that though, James. You
that's not like. But if you're again, I keep telling y'all the same thing over and over again. Y'all keep bringing this a Willie thing. I am telling you across the fucking league, the best coaches. Okay, let me finish.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta reply after you say it again.
Okay,
go ahead.
What I'm saying is that the best coach. I'm not saying Willie Green is a great coach. I think he's an okay coach, and he need a lot of room to grow. I am saying that. What I am also saying is that the issues that y'all have with Willie Green is the same thing that every coach that are greater than him, that are some of the best coaches, had that same fucking philosophy that he also learned from, that he also was on those same coaching staff that say, hey, motherfucker, if you're not Zion, if you're not Brandon Eagle, if you're think about Steph Curry, motherfucker, if you ain't Steph, if you ain't Draymond, if you ain't Clay, you can't do what they do. I need your ass to get out there and sit there and get to do the shit. That's the reason why a motherfucker like Jose Alvarado is gonna be in the league for a long time. That's the reason why TJ McConnell just got paid. And guess what he don't do? He don't fucking shoot at all. They pay that motherfucker because he hustled, he turned games around.
He got solid offense,
shooters. That hustle.
Yeah, I mean, pay shooters. Well, wait, hold on. Let me reply. Let me reply to James.
Be able to shoot though.
Because he said this earlier, man, talking about coaches. And the main thing that sticks on my mind when you say that is those coaches you're talking about, James, they hold the players out there accountable. They don't look at it like, okay, this guy is just giving me defense, but he going out here and he's stinking up the joint offensively. They'll pull him out the game for that too. It's not one-sided. Like you have to be solid overall. Like you don't have to be the microwave score and then you don't give me nothing defensively. No. But you also can't just play defense and not give me anything or make bonehead plays offensively and leave you out there. And Willie is jaded when it comes to that. He'll have guys out there defensively and we can't get nothing going offensively. And you got a guy like Matt Ryan and Hawk out there that if you put him out there, you get you some points. Especially if you call certain plays or have certain things for the bench unit where you trying to maximize or utilize that. Other coaches do that, brother. Now they're not gonna have a whole bench lineup just full of shooters. Like, you need hustle guys, you need some guys with that mentality, but your whole bench lineup don't have to be them.
Yeah, but situational coaching.
Y'all keep saying it. I'm telling you, when you have a roster, that's different when you have a roster that has all the shooting and some guys on there that can play defense, so they're not a cone and stuff like that. And you just say, "Oh, I'm gonna try you. I can afford to do this, that, and the other." I'm saying if your team, and again, I'm gonna go to Denver. The team is like, listen, I have the offense. You know what I don't have? Like even matter of fact, it ain't even the shooting because Denver was one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league last year.
Our offense don't.
I'm talking about offense. They were one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league, and they kept saying, and again, I say this here: were they not a top 10 offense before what's called them got hurt? Because I don't know if y'all pay attention to this stuff, where it's like the graph and it shows where they rank offensive rating and defensive rating, and then the way the graph goes is the further right that you go on the graph is you're balanced, right? Like you have your top whatever team defense and your top 5, like the X and Y and X axis, all that stuff. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, sorry, but either way, for majority of the team after the IST, the Pelicans were a top 6 offense and a top 6 defense for majority of the season. The shit didn't take a nosedive until Brandon Ingram got his knee hurt, and then I think Zion had a couple games he had to miss or something like that for whatever reason. So those guys played with the lack of 3-point shooting, with the lack of the space that we talk about, and they still was the top 6 offense. So my thing is here, yes, the shooting helps everybody to make the offense flow and all that stuff. I'm not sitting there saying that we didn't need more shooting out on the court. We didn't need all this other stuff. I am sitting here saying that there are greater coaches than Willie Green that if it is a situation that I need guys that can shoot the three and do nothing else, or guys that can do everything else but lack shooting, I am going to choose with this motherfucker because I need stops and I believe in the other guys will make them. That's who they are. That's the reason why, like, if you want to sit there and say Willie Green may be slow to reacting to certain things, cool, I'm there with you. But I'm not going to sit there and act like Willie Green is a fool for doing the same thing that the greatest coaches in the league sit there and says he does. So, like, that's my problem. That's where I have this issue, is because y'all, and this ain't just y'all, this is most fans when it comes to their coaches. Like, the main thing they always bitch at when it comes to certain stuff, like the rotation suck, because they're not playing the dude that you believe should be playing.
Okay, that's okay, yeah.
And so, because think about it.
It's the same thing, man. And watching a team make certain mistakes night in, night out, that you can see, like, when this happens,
need to be changed, and
this usually happens, and then we lose in the fourth quarter. Which, you know, when this happens, or we're not leading in the fourth quarter, we have a 0-24, 0-27 record.
Really?
Okay, so let's do the same thing in the fourth quarter we did last time, and continue to lose.
But I also put a lot of that, and here's my thing, and you're right.
Put all that on the players?
No, not all of it, but not all of it. My thing is here is that because here's the reason. This is the other thing too, too. I do not believe that there is any coach, I don't care how bad it is going into the practices and sitting there and just saying, hey, we can keep doing the same shit over and over again. Like, at some point, yes. To a certain extent, they do that. To a certain extent, they do that, because the same way, it's like, okay, you have to figure it out. Every team has a philosophy that they go by, and it's just like, listen, bro, at some point, you got to figure the shit out. Yeah. Like the same thing he said, like they talked about with Brandon Ingram, like the whole conversation with doing the playoffs, and they asking like how could he free him up more, and everybody got mad at Willie Green because he said like Brandon Ingram has to figure it out. He was sitting there betting, and he even told him too, like, motherfucker, you got to game the system. Like, you sitting there bitching about fouls, bro. You have to sit there and foul hunt. You got to sit there and pump fake, jump into the fucking stuff so you can get to the free throw line, because guess what? That motherfucker over there is doing it. And you see they grab and hold you. You got to make sure the refs see this. You have to. And guess what he didn't do? He didn't do that. So
you show Willie Green coaching them up and saying all of that, though.
He said it, but my thing is
his. He is.
But no, see, that's the problem, is that, like, one, you can't assume one way or the other, because one.
No, I don't think. And I understand.
But see, but here's the thing. I have to. I guess this is me. I have too much respect in somebody that had devoted their life to do something on the highest of levels. That have seen everything. Hold on. That has seen every single. Hold on. See, that's the, again, to me, that sounds like if I sit there to come talk about your job that you've done, so like, hey, bro, I ain't never did before, but you don't know what the fuck you doing, and I guarantee you don't, even though I don't really understand what you're doing. Like that's to me, it's like, listen, I don't because you can still be.
It don't necessarily have to be that. It could be like, say, man, like I see what you're doing over there,
and I've seen it.
Last time you did this happened. And you're doing it again. I asked you to paint my house, and then, you know, you said you were putting this as a base, and then you put that to make the color, and then you used this color last time, and it made the wrong color. And you're doing it again.
And I've seen
I don't have to know how to paint. I don't have to know how to paint or how to mix color.
Do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make observations of things that you repeatedly see happen over and over, and when one thing happened, the other don't.
Which is also the reason why, for the most part, they try to get rid of who this year.
That's Big Q.
but so what's up, Big Q?
He messing with me because I cut you off.
No. It's all good. you know, sometimes you got to cut me off, man, because I get the rambling.
Oh,
but
man,
like,
we know
you got a lot of great information and insight, though, bro. We love having you here.
And I guess
you keep going like the Energizer Rabbit, man.
Oh, James gonna keep going, man. We'll be on here all night.
Now with Jay Black.
Oh no, I said no. I got work in the morning.
So that's the only thing stopping. Yeah?
Well, what happened to Jay Black?
He got out. I said he could come in, but I don't know what happened.
He was there?
Yeah, he was there this whole time. He came in a little bit after Don did.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's not on there no more. He
right here. Yeah. What's going on, Jay Black?
You get me?
What's up, my guy? Yeah.
Okay, he is here.
Oh, and James Emerson is in the building.
Oh, wow.
We had some classic battles, James and Jay Black.
Oh, goodness. You can go on and add another 6 hours.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Oh,
glad to have you back, brother.
I'm dipping at 11:30.
I was the Jordan Hawkins. That's what we was talking about.
I mean, we all over the place, man. The main topic of the show was about Brandon Ingram, and we focused a lot on that. But recently, we was talking about Jordan Hawkins, and James talked about Willie Green's defensive rotations being a plus because most coaches in the league do that.
Yeah, so I was here. I was listening to that.
Okay.
Now what I heard, they was experiment with Jordan Hawkins in the summer league to try to run him at point,
right?
Because they can't find him no minutes at the shooting guard position. The shooting guard position, because he don't play a lot of defense. He's not that good at defense. So they was trying to see if he could run point to get more minutes for him. So since he kind of blundered, it don't look like he's gonna get some minutes. I don't know if y'all feel good about that, but I don't see that.
He's not getting no minutes this year.
I
was just talking about trading him. Me, Don Anthony, and I don't know. I think Lex probably feels similar. But like, I don't want him to trade him because of what he can be in the future.
But my question is,
it's the way he's being used, though. He's got to be used the right way, and this may not be the right situation for him. So, I mean,
unfortunately,
it's all about fit.
But if you so here's the thing too. I say this,
man, that'd hurt to lose him and then Willie get fired. Would that be some shit?
It would be messed up. But like my thing is this here. So y'all believe the way it is that because y'all said you wouldn't trade him for Walker Kessler. My thing is this here. So you say you're not using him, and everybody been bitching all summer about the fact that we don't have a real center to start the season, and this is terrible. And this team don't have a center, we're gonna get our ass whooped. So you rather keep a dude that most likely not gonna get no run this year, and we still have a hole on center, and we'll keep that hole other than to trade a dude that we won't play to get a center that we need.
Kessler's not the ideal.
They're not trading them straight up either way. So it's like, why not?
I mean, they
attaching a pick. Why just send somebody else?
They salary, but the thing is that Utah obviously has him available and don't see him being part of the long-term future. The Pelicans don't see Jordan Hawkins probably at some point not part of the long-term future.
If he put weight on, he probably would be.
Just after his,
if he put weight on,
he could play small forward if he put some weight on.
He put some weight on.
Who can play small forward?
If he put some weight on,
can I ask you a question though?
Develop their talent.
Can I ask y'all a question though?
Oh, sorry.
Has it ever been a player like you seen when you bought 2 games,
right?
And the team just really can't use them?
Yeah.
Like who?
I gotta go through.
I don't know. I brought up Bones Highland. Bones Highland won a couple games.
Absolutely, that's a great comparison.
You remember a game where he won them a game?
He won a couple games. Yeah, he was averaging like 30, right? He was getting like 30 points, but he couldn't play no defense.
Can I name you the specific games and where they played? No, I can't name those particular games, but I do remember watching on League Pass when it's a situation where like Jokic probably the only person that like Jamal Murray wasn't there or MPJ were both hurt or something like that, and Bone play, or a situation where one of them other two didn't have it, and the only person that had was Jokic, and he played along with him, and he scored like 30 points or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean,
he won them games, and they still benched him and then traded him.
When I think about my guy Jordan Hawkins, and I say, man, Zion didn't play, they didn't play it. Then he go against Kyrie, and he had the most points in the game. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, shit. I mean,
nah, that don't get you the win though.
But my thing is
that don't get you more playing time because listen,
I feel you, but I mean, damn, that's something to look at.
He was the number one option for that game,
right.
But no, when the number one,
Jonas was.
Nah,
I was about to say Jonas was a option, but they was feeding the hell out of Jordan Hawkins.
On the double team
that game because they ain't really had nobody. We had a lot of people injured, so they didn't really have a choice.
We had BR, we had Jose Alvarado, we had Zion. All three of them was injured at that time, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe.
But
I think CJ wasn't there either.
Jonas was the guy to go through though. That's why Jordan Hawkins was getting the ball off the double teams.
But okay, so even if he wasn't the main guy, he was number 2, and he's never going. There's no situation.
But my thing is, but he, he had to go as Kyrie and all that. I mean, and he stepped up, and I mean, I seen that game, and I think it was another game, but it was just when he did that, I said, man, this is nice. I mean, we saw
Lonnie Walker cook the fuck out of Steph Curry. Guess where he at right now? He just signed a 10-day or whatever for the Celtics. Again, like my thing is here. Yeah, everybody have their day.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I mean, I done seen him do it with Zion and without. So I was like, okay, bro, pretty, and he a shooter, a lethal shooter.
You said with Zion.
Lonnie, I feel like Jordan can fit everywhere in the league, and then I mean, Lonnie's not really a big shooter.
But here's the thing. Anytime, but here's the issue with the Jordan Hawkins thing. Anytime Jordan Hawkins has gone off, he was either the one or the second player on the team because somebody else was hot.
No.
Okay.
30, about 30 points in the Nuggets game.
When we missing somebody in the Nuggets game?
Nope, we wasn't.
No, we wasn't. That was the game that they ended up coming back beating. I know what you're talking about, but okay. So he can score. He can score again. Every dog has his day in the NBA. Hell, Corey Brewer scored 55 points or 50 points, whatever it is. So
to be honest, you know what I need to see? I want to see how many games where he actually played and ain't really had about 10 points. And I ain't talking about trash, man. I ain't talking about backhand. I'm talking about when he actually inserted into. What'd you say? What'd y'all say?
I thought somebody was saying something too.
No.
Yeah, I thought Lex was saying something. What'd you say, Lex?
Oh no, you can keep going. I didn't say that.
Oh yeah, but I want to see it. I want to see a chart of that. I want to see the record, and I want to see how many points he averages when he plays a full game, even though he barely plays.
I think with us, this the development, man. Why we want to develop so many guys?
They're not developing.
But
they're not developing nobody.
Because we're cheap, Jay Black. We're cheap, so we have to develop people to stay good.
No, we
Jay Black. A lot of guys are not coming into the league and they're ready. I think I think just a few years ago they said that there was about 15 guys that were drafted in the first round that went to the G League. You know what I'm saying? And that was just a few seasons ago. No one's really coming in ready.
Yeah.
Unless you special, unless you want.
Yeah, unless you're special. But it's like you're seeing that the league is trying to create stars. They're not just coming in. They're trying to create them now. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, a lot of guys, they say that a lot of guys that come in, they have offense, some type of offense.
Of course,
and they say this about all rookies, but defensively, no one is at the level that they need to be at defensively in the NBA when they're coming into the league. That's something that's been consistent. So I mean, you can't expect all these rookies coming in. Like obviously, you have ones like Herb, where his specialty and his focal point was defense.
Mm-hmm.
You do have gems like that do come in, but a lot of guys, they're more offensively minded. They don't have they haven't developed that defensive prowess, even 25% of it, or take your pick. But the thing is like all of these guys need development in some way, form, or fashion. Look, we just drafted Yves Missi. And we just said that he's going to be
science project.
He's going to be in the G League.
Yeah,
that dude has not played a lot of basketball. He needs reps. He's not ready.
He getting reps in the G League. He don't need reps in a game that's important. That if we lose because of him, then we gonna be highly upset. We're gonna be highly upset if we lose because of him. Then y'all gonna say, why would y'all playing him? Then y'all gonna say it's Coach Willie Green doing some dumb shit. Y'all gonna complain about it's damned if you do it, damned if you don't.
Well, the thing is, some guys like Yves Missi, he's played basketball since he was 16.
That's cool.
Okay, so the thing is, it's not like for somebody else who's played 8 years, and there's different levels of as far as the reps. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, as far as the readiness in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? And as far as his readiness, like putting him out there, it doesn't make no whole lot of sense.
So I say he obviously, well, I ain't gonna say obviously because you know how the team is when it comes to injuries and stuff. But like, if in the perfect world, he will spend majority of the first half of the season playing the G League because he need to get the run, but he's not quite there yet at the NBA to do the stuff. So that's okay. The other thing is too is this. Yeah, it's a cheap thing, but it's a thing that a lot of these teams are going to do now with the way this second April stuff go, because a lot of the teams are going to try to avoid that second April because of how crazy it is. So what's your next alternative? Well, it's what Denver is doing. We're not going to re-sign KCP. We're not going to re-sign Bruce Brown. You know what we're going to do? We're going to draft either a 4-year player that played a couple years and come in and see how he does, or we're going to draft a guy that we believe we could develop eventually to take over that spot that's only making $4-6 million compared to paying KCP so much. No. But here's the thing: you say they could do that, but a lot of people said that one of the reasons why they may have flamed out sooner than later that everybody thought they would have is because of the fact. Because they didn't bring back certain guys that gave them a lot, the Bruce Brown and other people that they didn't bring those guys back, and then they doubled down this year and did the exact same thing again by letting KCP walk out the door. So there's a lot of people that's like, yeah, we believe they're gonna be one of the top teams, but it's a lot of shit that those rookies y'all drafted didn't develop that y'all thought. They didn't take the leap that y'all thought they were going to take to replace what Bruce Brown did. And then you're going to bet again that one is going to replace KCP, which is your second best defender and probably your best, second guard and stuff like that. That's no bueno. But again, when you have a guy like Jokic who plays and make everybody else better around them, and you just won a championship, you have that leeway. The other thing is too is that when you are like the issue with the Pelicans when it comes to developing talent now is that we're past that stage. We're at the stage of trying to win now. And so if you're not going to give us stuff that can help us win now, whether or not like you don't have to give us 30 minutes. If you can give us 15 minutes of you just out there just hounding the shit out of the second unit guy, or make it a living hell, guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to give you more responsibility. I'm going to give you more runway. I'm going to give you more minutes and stuff. And see, that's the thing too. Everybody laughed at jokes like, oh, he a Willie Green guy because you might well kiss them Hawk minutes
that's
goodbye.
True. That's true
But that's true. But here's the thing. You going to I'm not going to get mad at Willie that this motherfucker came out there and took this nigga spot. That he came out there and he hustling, because I tell you what else, the Chicago Bulls, them fans, they love the shit out of Javonte Green and hated that motherfucker left.
Yeah, I just like I said, I don't have a problem with him playing. It's just situational.
Javonte Green gonna be awesome, man.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
straight up. And he's super athletic.
I like him.
Yeah, he got an offensive game too, and play defense.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
and here's the other
all-around player, man.
Yeah.
And like Joe Black just said, here's the other issue is that okay, you traded for DJ, right, which pushes CJ McCollum to the bench, right?
Are we sure that?
No. He going to the bench. I promise you.
How you know?
You know about validity.
I got 33 million reasons why he not.
He got 33 million. The reason why he don't give a fuck.
33.
He listen. No. Listen. No, I'm gonna tell you. Here's the reason why I truly believe.
Truly think
that it's going to truly believe. I for one, I think I'm not going. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah. Who you starting lineup there?
No, the starting lineup going to be if BI is not traded. It's going to be most likely Tice, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, and DJ. Because if you
DeJounte Murray, Herb, BI, Zion, and
Tice. If Zion, because I think they want to play small. I don't think they're going to start having Zion or somebody that's playing the center position like people think they is. I think they're gonna put out Tice. If they don't, there's some people that think they're gonna start Zion in center, but I don't believe that. But
if they want to maximize the man, they don't want to do that.
No, they're not gonna do that. So that's the reason why I still think unless
starting them at center certain games, that's what I think would be like.
Everybody keeps saying it, man. I wish people.
I still wouldn't start him. I don't want him banging with centers because I ain't trying to put no more wear and tear on his body.
A team that's they got a center. They running small. Somebody who don't bang like, or if you got a center that's. Just somebody who catch alleys. He ain't got no post game.
So you saying like an Indiana?
Yeah, you might be able to get away with it with Miles Turner, maybe, but maybe not.
And
I get it.
It ain't a lot of teams you could say that though.
Yeah, but I get it. Like it may alternate depending on, like I said, if they don't make the trade to get the actual bid currently constructed, the way the team is, that is who I believe is coming up. Because this is what happened. CJ McCollum, as much as people killed this man last year, for like the first 50% of the season, he was probably our best player, he was the most. He was
he was nice in the regular season.
But see, that's the thing is that we've had to use every ounce of CJ that we need the last couple of years because certain people wasn't showing up. So now you have a situation where, like, let's say we believe that Zion gonna have everything that we've seen and heard is continue to translate, and he's going to do what he's supposed to do, right? Okay, so this is what you do. Now, instead of me needing 33, 36 minutes from you, Mr. CJ, Mr. 32-year-old CJ, how about you go to the bench and then you get the chance to cook against the second team? And you get about 25, 27 minutes, and we can have you rested up and you don't have to burn yourself out throughout the season. Plus, again, another thing is, too, you said there's 33 million reasons why he shouldn't go to the bench. There's 33 million dollars the reason why he can go to the bench, because guess what? I'm paid and I don't give a fuck now because I have my money. And it's
you think Mr. I've been to the playoffs every year of my career.
I've
been a starter my whole career.
I ain't gonna lie.
Man.
Now that you put it like that, I kind of agree with you a little bit, James.
I guarantee you, I
kind of agree with you a little bit.
I think. But here's the thing.
I want it to happen.
Here's the reason why I believe it.
Our coach got a
They probably already had a conversation. But see, here's the reason why I believe this. As much as everybody say, Mr. This, that, and the other, last off season, Willie Green told CJ what? Hey man, you getting older. You have to come in a lot better shape than you always have. We need you to play off ball more off this season because that's where you better at. And guess what? When Zion and Brandon Ingram was playing, he played off ball and he shot more catch and shoot threes. And he was in a better shape than he was at any point. He looked better when he came in. He played better. He did what they asked him to do. So my thing is here: if they sit there and they, hey, we got, because think about it. you have to come off the bench now because we have DeJounte Murray now. Brandon Ingram ain't going nowhere, and you're not a wing. So even if we traded Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy is taking that spot. We sure the fuck ain't taking Herb off the goddamn lineup with his defense. And at the same, and you have Herb ain't going nowhere.
But check this out, though, James. Right? Like you gonna have no elite 3-point shooting in a lineup with Zion. It don't make sense. Like as much as I want the Herb in, and I think he should be the starter. But with BI there, it's like it really should be Herb and Trey. Like you need somebody to be elite 3-point shooter.
Nah, because last year our best lineup, like I said last year, was Dyson Daniels,
Trey Murphy, and Herb, man.
Nah, it was Dyson Daniels, it was Herb, it was B.I., Zion, and Valanciunas. That's when CJ went down.
How many minutes we ran that?
we ran that for 12 games straight.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing though, too, is that the last couple of games you saw the flaw when Dyson Daniels don't look at the rim and he can't shoot the ball. So like it was good for a run. And then what happened is that because what the part that people didn't acknowledge, the reason why they were so successful is because Herb Jones and Dyson Daniels was getting a lot of steal and they was running. Yeah, they was when the games that they could not get steals and get deflections, Dyson Daniels struggled heavily because once we got in the half court offense, he was pretty much, useless because again he had the Lonzo Ball effect when he first got here, where he don't look at the rim. But unfortunately, he couldn't shoot like Lonzo.
I ain't gonna lie, Herb Jones might be a little more lethal this year. Don't sleep on that.
I mean, I like Herb, but we can't act like Herb is a certified shooter.
His form can he has a nice form.
So here's the thing. So he did. You're right. We can't sit there because what happened?
We can't do what?
Oh, I would say you're right that we can't necessarily just automatically count that Herb Jones' shot has been fixed. This will always be him. There will always be that fear of maybe this was a one-off. But even if it, because he shot,
I don't think it's a one-off. But
what I'm saying is that even if he, like, let's say he dipped from he shot damn near, I think it was 40+% from the three, and he was shooting most of them from the corner three. So let's say no fear. So let's say it drops to 38%. I don't care how many threes he shoot. They're always going to leave him because you have to trap you. It ain't even just about him, his history. You can't guard everybody. And so you're going to allow Zion to cook one-on-one, then good luck with that. You dare to the world. You can allow Brandon Ingram to cook one-on-one. Okay, good. Have fun with that. So you have to. Most teams the whole reason why they have the whole point of stars and stuff like that is to get the advantage where they forces the defense to shade one way or the other to have advantages on the other side. So Herb is always going to be left open no matter what happens. That's just the nature of the business. You've even seen situations too that if Zion is out on the court, how many times we see Trey Murphy get wide open threes, knowing this motherfucker is a 40% 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they stopped giving them to him at a certain point when he had gone, especially CJ. Man, they stopped that in the playoffs. They
stopped that in the playoff because they didn't have to. There was no threat. There was no Zion that was going to like cook you and go for 50 because you allowed him to play one-on-one, and now he's collapsing your defense and he's spreading everybody. Because of Brandon Ingram being hobbled, they was able to defend him one-on-one with just Lou Dort and have everybody sit and stay. No,
they OKC always defend us that way. They don't
and guess what? When Zion plays, they struggle.
No, they don't. They was beating us.
We beat them. Okay, the two games that we played against them when Zion played and Brandon Ingram missed both fucking games, right? New Orleans beat them at home, and then they came back and was about to beat them. I think they tied the game up. No, they took the lead. I'm lying. They took the lead versus OKC.
One game.
No. We only played. How many times we played OKC? 3 times.
I don't even know, to be honest.
I forgot.
I just remember he came back.
But I know Brandon Ingram. Not Brandon Ingram. I know Zion didn't play the game. One of the games we lost. I think we ended up 2-1 versus down 2-1 versus OKC. But the 2 games that Zion played, I'm talking about them because that's obviously the superstar and that's the world breaker. When he plays, they do not have the guy because everybody talk about Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams could not handle this man.
No.
Chet Holmgren could not keep this man from the rim because again, Zion don't stop. He don't give a fuck how many times you block his shot. He's consistently going to attack the rim. So that wasn't stopping anything. Yeah, right. So every time that Zion has been on the court and we've played OKC, they are in hell. So that's the thing is that when Brandon Ingram plays, and again, this ain't really a knock on Brandon Ingram. It's just the fact that they can defend him easier because
the perimeter.
Right, the perimeter. He's a lone, lanky defender. For the lone, lanky player. So they can move. They can move. You put length on him and stuff like that. And plus, Brandon Ingram ain't the most super athletic player, so you can defend him.
Absolutely.
You can't. They don't have nobody that can do nothing with Zion, and so. And I'm not sitting there saying this in the sense of like, okay, we're easily can beat OKC. That's not what I'm saying. We probably still would have lost that series even if Zion played. I just think it would have been a sweep. It probably would have went to 6 or 7.
Which is why we should have went to JV more, but
they did. But see, that's the thing. But here's the thing: they did go to JV, but the issue was that no.
They benched him the last game. We got swept. They benched him.
The reason why they stopped. Hold on. The reason why they stopped. The reason why they stopped going to JV is because they played into a strength. Because my thing is here, okay, y'all finna dump it down to this big lumbering motherfucker. JV not finna beat us. He's not finna beat us. So if you want to keep, he was not.
Man, he got like 20-some points,
and they still won.
We were
because they benched him. They benched him in the fourth. He ain't come back in the fourth. Let me go back.
Okay.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I'll look it up right now.
There was a plan. There was a point in one of the games that they were feeding JV, and JV was doing well, and he was getting all this points.
What game are you referring to? The playoffs?
I'm taking the playoffs.
I'm talking about the playoffs.
Yes.
That was the point. They said they fed him because Chet could not guard him, but the problem is that guess what? Okay, you're getting his twos. We're hitting threes on the other end. That don't matter.
Right, but that's what they was wasting possessions where they will go like a couple possessions without even giving the JV.
I'm telling you right now, every team, if you sit there and you go in a situation and you tell them, hey, they're going to feed JV every single play down because we don't really have an advantage to really stop him. Guess what the team's going to say? Okay, great, cool. Let him have that. Like we not because he's not Jokic. He's not Embiid. He's not going to do enough to sit there and win the game. He can have 50. We're still going to win this game.
Okay, I don't know about that. Nah.
Okay.
Let it happen then. Yeah. Let it happen.
Because my thing is here. If you sit there, let me think about another team. Okay, I'll give you event. I'll give you do you think that let's say the fuck that team is the Timberwolves. Let's go with the Timberwolves. Let's say
here y'all game right here. This game too. JV led the team in scoring.
Talking about JV?
Yes, and they were blowing us out with him on the court.
But no, bro.
They were blowing us out with
minutes though. He played 23
minutes. But in the first half, most of his minutes he played that 23 minutes he played, and we were down by 20, brother. That's my point. They didn't care.
Though, that's that one game.
No, what was the first game? I'm trying to look at the first game because the first game
was the Trey Murphy game, man. That's when Trey Murphy had it going, and CJ winds up taking the last shot of the game, and everybody was like so confused and upset because Trey should have took that shot. No, that was this game right here, 92-94.
Jeez,
we pretty much had that game and kind of let it slip away.
But again, my thing is here. This is also the reason why I'm like Zion, brother. You got to be there because all this other shit don't matter if you're not.
We know that.
But then again, I go back to it. The Timberwolves. If they decide, like if OKC go into the matchup and say, guess what? We're going to make sure we try to. We're going to do everything we can to take away Ant Cat, and we're going to succeed at that. And then the Timberwolves find that, hey, every time we go to Rudy Gobert, because he's bigger than Chet, he scores. So let's just keep. No, wait. So let's just keep feeding
no comparison though.
But my thing is, my point is that if a team will will live with you giving it to a guy just because he has an advantage doesn't matter. But guess what? Because he's not that guy.
That first game, Trey Murphy had 21, CJ had 20, Valanciunas had 20 rebounds and 13 points. Come on, you gotta keep feeding them.
Right,
20 and 13. He was.
Again,
you're just trying to win the game. You're not saying that you're gonna keep doing this every game of the series.
I need y'all to go back. Okay, I want y'all to please go get back the league pass. Go back and watch that game.
I can leave pass.
Go hold on. Go back and watch the first half when they was feeding Jonas that second game that he was cooking. Go watch what the score was.
Bro, first of all, it was
what does it matter if
he had the best plus and minus, bro.
He had
the start lineup that second game, so I don't think all of that was just like.
I'm not blaming, but I'm not blaming. Okay, so y'all take it what I'm saying and saying I'm blaming JV. I'm not blaming.
No.
I'm saying what I'm saying is that a team, if I'm OKC and you have Brandon Ingram, and you saying that because of the way Brandon Ingram is playing right now, and you're going to feed him. Hey, you may get a game. You're not winning the series this way. You're going home regardless because we're going to be 100% okay. It's the same situation that if I have to pick and choose who I let get off. Because you can't, like I said, they said you can't defend everybody. Antonio Daniels said this on every broadcast. You can't defend everything. You have to give something up. So the thing for me as OKC to give up is to let JV cook, motherfucker. I guarantee you, nigga. We're going to win this game.
This is what you're referring to because Chet had 26 points on 13 shots. So that's crazy.
He couldn't stop because he couldn't stop. That's what I'm saying.
On the other end, he was cooking.
Minutes. On the other end, he was cooking because the game before, Herb was guarding Chet.
The fourth game did all the damage though. The fourth game. He had 26 minutes, 13 points, 19 rebounds. No, 19 points, 13 rebounds. Listen, man, I don't know. And nobody else was giving us production. If nobody else giving us production, B.I. wasn't scoring. But B.I. had 8 points in the fourth game. Trey Murphy had 7 points.
Man,
CJ had 20.
In this series, man. That's crazy.
But my thing, so here's the thing. Again,
listen,
I understand. I understand all that. I'm just saying is that I don't care. They could have fed. I guess my point is this:
Jane,
they could have fed JV 100 times that game. It wouldn't have made no difference.
No, that's not the truth, right. Though.
Okay.
If that was the truth, because they didn't do that. That's that's what we're saying. If they would have, they'd have had a better chance of winning.
And every time they did, it was dominant.
And we wouldn't be in this situation if we won one game. We wouldn't be talking about all this crazy scenarios because we would have said, "Yo, all right, we at least got one game." At least we wouldn't be talking. They wouldn't be talking this bad about Willie Green and his coaching if he had at least won one game.
They don't.
You could have won through.
They know the only way that this wouldn't have been to the season the way it was. Like if he had won what they won for, people was pissed off the fact that we won 49 games and we still had to play in the play-in. Like despite the fact that we haven't won 49 games in the history.
Well, no, because Zion was injured, so
no. But that's my point. Again, I am coming back to the main thing all the time. My thing is this here. Brandon Ingram being hobbled. He ain't who he is. The next best player that we have is either CJ McCollum or JV. And they sat there and said, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play y'all one-on-one. Because at first they started off trying to trap Brandon Ingram. And they realized, oh, this nigga can't move. Lou Dort, you got him. Don't worry about it. We just going to play off. And so so they're like, hey, okay. They leave Chet at a disadvantage. The only time that JV that he did win him in versus Chet was when Chet could not go out, when he was not playing well on the offensive end of the ball. The games, if you notice, that Chet had played well, that was spreading the floor, and Jonas could not guard him.
Right,
they blew us out.
Right, they wasn't allowing Jonas to wear his ass down though.
It don't. My thing is here. Jonas was the one getting worn down because as soon as he was scoring the other end, Chet is running up.
Right,
because Chet is running
to our advantage.
My thing is here, brother. Like Chet Chet
the
don't have to bang on the other end. He can shoot the threes and still take his break on that end.
But we know each other's disadvantage. But they played to their advantage and we didn't.
You know what our disadvantage was? The fact that they had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and we didn't have Zion. That was their advantage. That's as simple as that.
Right, that's the obvious, but you gotta come in with the best game plan possible.
You keep sitting there saying like it's obvious, but my thing is here. It doesn't matter.
It is obvious.
The playoffs is all.
How about this, James? You make adjustments just like the Miami Heat did and won one game without Jimmy Butler, and they have nobody on the roster.
Say, James, they blew us out with Chet scoring 6 points, man. Look at the score.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? 106
to 85, man.
Yeah, Chet ain't scored nothing.
He didn't do anything.
No, he wasn't really killing us.
And look what we did. What JV had 12 minutes. JV played 12 minutes, man.
I guess my thing. I guess so. Here's look
at our other offensive leaders. Brandon Ingram is our leading scorer with 19 points in 37 minutes. I mean,
so I guess my thing is the reason why. Like, and y'all playing the other way where y'all felt like without Zion, we actually probably could have just done something with the extra adjustments. I'm saying
I think we should have won a game. The
game to win, unfortunately, was the first one. We didn't get it.
It don't matter. You gotta win one, man. You gotta have that mentality to fight through and figure out, man.
You have 2 games you could have won. You could have won
a game. You got against this is an inexperienced team, man. They ain't never
been. Did you watch the Miami Heat?
And then and then you got and so we say you talk about Miami Heat. Okay,
they won one game. Threes the whole game.
Guess what else happened?
That's all they could do.
Guess what else happened? The Suns had all they dudes. They got sent home by a younger team too.
Bro, what?
In 4 games. No, I'm saying
we're talking about
focusing on the Pelicans, man.
But the guy brought up the Heat.
Right.
I didn't bring up the Heat
because that's comparison to us. The Suns has no comparison to us. There's no comparison.
No, I don't want to get into
No. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get to that point, but you said no comparison to us. You brought up a team. You brought up a team that that was injured, and then they lost. They won one game versus.
They won one game.
Okay, fine. Okay, and then I brought up a team that had all they do. Just giving another example of like if you ain't it and you ain't got it, you going home. You had KD. You had all these guys. You talk about experience, and this other team don't have all the experience. The Wolves didn't have much playoff experience, and guess what? They swept the Suns.
But no, that's different though, James. The Wolves was in the playoffs, won a whole playoff series and everything the year before. Like that's totally different than the Thunder. This team has never even got to the playoffs or to play in.
They wasn't playing last year. They wasn't playing last year. Yeah,
okay, they never got to the. That's right.
They beat us.
That's right. They never got to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
And they took a more experienced playoff team with the Dallas Mavericks to 6 games. So again,
no, they're a good team, man. But
that's my point. My point is that they're a good team.
As the Pelicans, we should have been able to at least win a game. I don't care when we were supposed to do it, why it didn't happen. They should have at least had one.
Whether you gotta keep doing something, minimum, man. Whether you gotta keep doing something over and over again, you gotta coach the game.
I guess to me, 1 game or 0 games, it really don't matter because it was pretty much you just got sent home. I would have been more excited.
It's about
a gentleman's sweep and a sweep is different. Yeah, I don't know. The fan base wants the gentleman's sweep, not a sweep.
I get a sweep.
Yeah, competitive nature. We want to see the coach make some sense out of some shit. Like he care about the team, the fan base, and wins and shit.
See, this other thing is too the reason why I struggle because that first fucking game was probably the best coaching Willie Green has ever done, and his fucking team couldn't get the shot that he needed to get.
It was some shit because.
You can't say some shit because guess what?
The game, bro, we looked the same almost every game, bro. Literally, all we did was just enough to tie the game up and look like we were starting to celebrate, and then we just let him like, bro, like the situations like, bro, he had moments where when we got up, he was supposed to sub a couple offensive lineups in, like shit like that. Because like it was moments where we were up, he could have subbed in Jordan Hawkins.
You say that, but my thing is that the what he did to keep SGA on, and again I keep going back to the same thing. He did everything right as far as like defensive side of the ball to bottle up Jalen Williams, to bottle up SGA. The reason why we was in that game in the first place is because of the defense. The difference was, and I'm gonna say this:
don't win games by defense.
No. The difference is that they had SGA that was able to make one more play. That's all they needed, because guess what? Why? Because he's a superstar, and guess what? We was missing our superstar to do the exact same thing. So obvious. But see, that's the thing. Until
now, what you do? What do you do after that? What do you do?
No team. Everybody going to sit there. The reason why fucking Jerry West, before God rest his soul, before he passed away, he said, "No, okay, don't worry about it.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying." So he said that I don't know if y'all watched. He was on the podcast with fucking Paul George, and they were sitting there having a conversation about all the stuff like this here. And the main thing he came down to is just
the MVP.
No, not MVP. He said you can't fucking win games when your star don't play. He said that's what he said. He said,
okay.
And he said, and my thing is here, you can win a couple of games in the regular season when they don't play. When it comes to and the other thing is too, you sit there say they won one game. You know the reason why Miami sit there and won that game? Because Bam wasn't hobbled like B.I. was, and he fucking helped them win that game.
James, it was still who did Miami play again? I forgot. Was it 76ers?
No, it was the Celtics. I want to say it was the Celtics.
Celtics, dog.
No,
you telling me they shouldn't got their ass swept? Don't go fuck Bam or Bam Wham.
But you keep saying it. But like, is Bam and B.I. not at least the same level of player? Even if you want to say Bam is better.
No, yeah, not.
No. Same. Same tier.
It's kind of different.
I'm not talking about the style of play. I'm talking about
even compare, contrast. None of
it's kind of hard comparison.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I have to give.
I am not talking about the style. I'm talking about the tier. Like if you sit there and say, okay,
last year Bam was a tier above Bi, but before that, they
okay.
They
So
the same.
Okay, I give you Bam as a tier, but I'm not going to argue that point. My point is that he, to your point when you brought up Miami Heat, I'm not going to bring up nobody else.
No, they won to the Miami shooting. The whole team was playing defense and they were shooting, bro. I was watching the game. They were shooting the whole damn game because they knew that's what they can do. They couldn't do nothing else.
Miami can't shoot. Huh? Miami, that was the one off that they had. Miami, that was the one off. Miami has been a terrible.
That's what they could. That's what they could get off. They couldn't get to the rack and be able to get space and create. They didn't have shot creators and all that. They were moving the ball.
Okay, so they relied upon shooting luck to help them win that one game.
Right, that's all they could do. They could do nothing. I was watching the game. They could do nothing else. They couldn't dribble, penetrate, none of that shit. They were just moving the ball. That's all they were doing. But guess what? They died about it. And
I guess to me, one win or zero wins, it don't. I don't care.
No, it's about respect. Dog.
0 wins and 1 win is always
so if a team make the playoffs and lose versus not making the playoffs,
I said last year. I said last year. As much as I knew we were gonna go home in the first round without Zion, I'd completely rather be in the playoffs than not be in the playoffs. But at the same time, whether they won one game or won, to me, I ain't talking about everybody else. I'm talking about to me. Let's say
it was this, but you still should win one game. If they wouldn't have got blowed out in any of the 4 games, and they would have been right there to the end of the game, versus you going in there and getting blowed out. Even though you lost all 4, it doesn't make a difference in how you lost.
To me it don't matter, because the main thing that we need to see was having Z in the playoffs. He wasn't in the playoffs, so it didn't matter at that point. After that, to me, like because my thing was this, because whether we won 1 or 2 games. What does that do going toward the future when the main guy that we have didn't play?
You build the confidence for the rest of the players.
But it don't matter because
it does matter. You need them players.
Trey Murphy gonna be the player we need him to be because
I hit it. But see that happened. That was 2 years ago of you going to the playoffs and doing that stuff. Now this year it's no longer, hey, we got to the playoffs and we got the experience and we won 1 or 2 games. No, now it's about motherfucker. We need to now get to the second round.
But that's when you start. That's when Zion is. Then you'll start blaming like, yo, Z need to be healthy at the playoffs. But you can't say that because we didn't even win a game. So if he was there, he still wouldn't have made a bigger difference. He would have made 4 games.
No, he would have made a bigger difference in the sense that again, I thought. Going into that, regardless of who we had, if Zion played and everybody was playing, I still felt like OKC may get it. One, because I felt like you can say they were a better team, or in the same sense, they also had home court advantage. I thought that if Zion played, it probably goes 7 and we lose or whatever. My thing is that
player, we had the potential to win the series.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying again. What I'm saying is that you're right. That's why I said 7 games because if it goes 7, it could go one way or the other. So we could have won the series and went to the next round, or we could have lost that game and then we wouldn't have made it. But my thing is that's one showing how much of a special player he is. Number 2, the same thing happens that if you go to the
culture we got.
Okay, if you say that. But my thing is that if we get there, there's a difference if we get there and Zion is there and the coaching does the stuff that he does and we lose game because the coaches that I am there with you. My thing is here, all that data, whatever we saw in the playoffs to me is none and void because the thing that I saw was, guess what? Zion wasn't there. We need to see this motherfucker in here. We finally come to the conclusion that Brandon Ingram and him need to probably split up at some point where they tried to trade him this offseason, stuff like that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So, like, that was the scenario that was going to end up happening, whether or not Zion played or not. Unless Brandon Ingram had came back and was shooting that bitch and he was like Chris Middleton, shooting a whole bunch of threes and doing all this other stuff. The end result, the way the season was going, was Brandon Ingram was no longer going to be on this team this offseason if they could trade him for better pieces. That was the way it was going to end. But
they could have traded him, though. They could have traded B out if they wanted to.
Yeah, for scraps, of course. But the teams is.
I don't think so. I think the trades that they had for BI before now were better than what we probably gonna wind up getting for him.
Are you sure that
we had our eyes on Jared Allen?
Yeah.
And, I think they was really because they've been looking at Jared Allen for like 2-3 years. Man.
Yeah. But
Cleveland didn't want to get up off.
I'm not saying that, but they kept trying to hold on to the possibility of getting him. I think of passing up some other trades that were out there. I think that Sacramento trade was real.
No, but my thing was that
with the bonds.
But you're not one. We could trade him to you, but if we need a big.
That would have been a big.
You don't have they didn't have the pieces to send to us that would have fit the holes that we have.
Well, if they gave us 2 firsts, we could have flipped the first to the Magic and got Wendell Carter Jr. man and gave them one of them.
2 firsts for Wendell Carter Jr. is crazy as hell.
No, they ain't say 2 firsts.
That's crazy as hell.
I said
no,
2.
but
I misspoke. I have 1 first, man.
Oh wait, is this true? I heard that. If BI would have signed for 4 years, $45 million, right after the trade, they would have traded CJ for Wendell Carter Jr. That's what I heard.
Why they couldn't do that anyway?
Because Brand BI he wasn't signed up for
where he was gonna go.
But he
would have stayed.
I don't want that.
But my thing is so.
They would have traded CJ for Wendell Carter Jr. They'd have had a big,
and then they would have put Trey Murphy in the same starting lineup.
Same spot. Yep.
Wendell can't stay healthy though.
He can't.
But you still need a big though. He would have been a big though.
But see, any big, honestly, all these bigs that they tried to go after for the most part had, like Jared Allen has health issues as well each year and stuff like this. So each one they're gonna run into is gonna have somebody that probably have some health issue. I think outside of like Walker Kessler, I think he played, but at the same time as
minutes ain't that much though. They always used him kind of rotational.
Who that?
Do we have a trade exception that if we trade for Walker Kessler that we won't get that tax?
No, it'll have to be that. That's why I brought up the Hawkins thing is that if you trade him because the way they there's a certain dollar amount, they so close to that tax line that any move had to be a particular move just to make it happen without them being over the tax.
I thought we got a $12 million trade exception when we traded JV. When JV got was a sign and trade, he got a $12 million trade exception. A $12 million.
JV didn't get traded.
It was a sign and trade.
What?
It was a sign and trade.
It was, and we got a potential second round pick out.
That's what it was. It wasn't no. Yeah, it wasn't no.
But they do have a trade exception because we were thinking they were going to add the trade exception into the DeJounte Murray trade.
But
the thing is that
they wound up going a different route anyway.
But the thing,
I think it's like $10 million.
But the thing is that I think a good bit of that trade exception got ate up because of the trade kicker that kicked in with DeJounte Murray.
No,
I don't think so.
No, it was coming after him. We trade that Valanciunas was after.
But they pushed the trade. The trade was after DeJounte Murray. They didn't make it official until a certain point because of something to deal with his contract. Because something about the fiscal year, I forgot how it ended up happening.
We added another person in there so the money could match.
Talking about Larry Nance?
No, it's
no. It was
man, he wound up getting cut out the league.
Yeah. It was, EJ Liddell.
But not
it was somebody else. Who else was
pull this trade up, man? And look at this real quick. But yeah, we got about 20 more minutes, man. We're gonna be getting up out of here.
Okay.
But I was just saying that like it's the situation. The forces, like I said, the force situation was that they didn't foresee to the point where like, okay, his value has been so depreciated to the point that now we trying to get scraps because I believe they also think that going into the season, yes, they signed Jared Allen. They got him locked in for I think 4 more years, but he still can be traded before the trade deadline. I think the thought process is that okay, we'll hold on to our chips and y'all hold on to y'all's. There's a good chance, just like us, y'all gonna run into the same fucking issues y'all did last year with the Cavs. Y'all going to run into that situation where y'all play better with Evan Mobley at the 5, and y'all don't play well with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in the same lineup. And because you already made sure that Darius Garland ain't going nowhere, and you supposed to be investing in Evan Mobley as one of your guys, as one of your, if not the best player, eventually the second best player on your team going forward. So Jared Allen is in his way of growth. At some point, you're gonna have to come back to the table and sit there and say, you know what? We'll make the deal happen. We'll make the trade happen. Because I do believe that just like us, that everybody believe that we're going to still have the same shooting woes and the same lagging offense when the starting 5 is out there and all that stuff. But same shit gonna happen with Cleveland.
I don't think so. But
you don't think so? After 2 years,
I'm talking about the Pelicans with the shooting woes. I don't think so.
You don't think they go? No, I don't believe so. But you said, I'm saying,
but Cleveland, I think they gonna go on a downward trajectory. I think they gonna be worse than they was last year.
I don't think they're gonna be worse. I think they'll still win the same amount of games. I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
How y'all feel? B.I. gonna play though? I mean, if anything, like
he has to.
If anybody's energy, I mean, I don't like. My energy don't even feel right about it. I don't know. I don't think his energy feels right about it.
But the thing is that if he's going to want to, here's the issue that you run into.
You better not be a cancer.
That's what I feel like.
If you it can go either way. So I'm not saying it won't. But what I'm saying is that if you looking at BI, your BI and you situation, you become toxic to the point where it fucks your team up. That's gonna look bad on you. If they already pushing the you possibly be a bad teammate narrative when Zion was scoring 40 points and they was everybody hooping and hollering and almost beat the Lakers, you was on the sidelines pouting. Like they already talking about that. They already talking about you get into it with Willie Green in the playoffs and stuff like that, even though you didn't really hold up your end. Then you got the noise coming about talking about how he ain't show up to the workouts and everything. You starting to get a trend. So even if I believe
and look, and he's still with that. It seems like he ain't even going away from that because you see this recent post about
that was even before the whole news came about before he didn't go to the thing. And again, he can feel he has the right to feel the way he feels in regards to that. But here's the thing is that in his scenario, you can't afford to not buy in because people are watching now. And if you continue on this trajectory of looking like you're a bad teammate and then you won't adapt to help a team win, then guess what? You not to the point where you ain't gonna be out the league, but that 30, 40, that 50, $60 million that you want a year, kiss that shit goodbye.
Yeah. You kiss that goodbye now, period.
That's done anyway. Trade exceptions.
You don't want to hear it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
These are the trade exceptions. This is what we have available according to Spotrac, which you can see this one. It expires next year, 2025. So I guess that's when we completed that deal. Must have been June 6th, right? For basically $10 million. And we still got the Kyra Lewis trade exception for 5-7 that we never used. And then we have, I guess these two must have expired at the end of the season for oh no, that's our biannual and the mid-level exceptions that we still have. So I mean, you're looking at these trades, man. They can use some of these trade exceptions to build that without getting rid of a guy like Hulk, but they still got to get under the cap. You can't use a trade exception to get under the cap,
right? And so that's why I say like,
still what we,
No, I just think we could absorb Kessler contract without giving up a major player. You could give up somebody, but you did trade exception. You don't got to match the money.
Whoever we give up, you do have to match the money. Cap.
You do have. I say you do have to, like you said, you can't use the trade exception to get under the cap. So you have to trade a actual player to get under it, and then I think at that point you can use the trade exception. But even then, the only player that's on a team that matches that man's salary is Hawk. Well, not even necessarily matches.
He don't match his. Yeah.
No. Kessler make less money than Hawkins, I believe. Go see what Walker Tesla because this is
Hawkins right here with
4.5. Kessler don't make that much money. I think Kessler make like 4.4, 4.2 or something.
That's cap hit, so that might be different. Let me see something. Let's look at contracts.
What about Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan, no, he don't make enough money. He they just put him on a non-guaranteed exhibit 9.
He making $4 a year. That's where he at, man.
And now go to Walker Kessler. Go find him.
Let's find Utah.
So he probably making like 8.
No,
4.
It's like 2 something. It's like 2 something.
Yeah, 2 to 4.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
then we don't need the trade exemption for him.
He averages out to 3.3, but I don't know exactly what he's making this year.
So that's what I'm saying. So they over the cap by like 1 point. They over the cap for about like $1 million. That trade by itself does 2 things. One, it gets you under the cap, and you get a starting caliber center. So like I get the whole, you hate to see Jordan Hawkins leave and stuff like that, but at the same time is that if you rather keep him on the team and go into the season with no caliber starting bid, because the BI trade not finna happen now. Like we've seen that unless the trade again, unless Utah says fuck it, we'll trade you Kessler and Collins for Brandon Ingram, The only way I feel that you're going to get Kessler off that team, if without Utah bringing back Brandon Ingram, is trading Jordan Hawkins. And to me, I'd rather have the big that can eat up the rebounds, that can bang with the other guys to fill the hole that we have a great big issue with, than the guy that may or may not be our 9th or 10th best player in the future.
I think they're just going to let BI play to the trade deadline and see if they can trade him. Or they going to let him walk.
Now, how they going to play him though?
Like how they going to play him? The same way they normally play him. He going to run.
Yeah, Hawk is making 4.5. Kessler's making 2.9. So their salaries they don't match, but that probably would get us under the cap if we were able to.
Yeah,
and Utah is already like millions and millions of dollars under the cap. So the salary to them don't matter. It only really matters to us in a sense. So we need to send, like I said, he's the only player that's on the team that makes the money that you can see Utah wanting, that we can afford to give up to then get the big that obviously they clearly don't want either, because they've been shopping him as well. So if you see the situation now, the only reason why I say I don't think the Brandon Ingram trade thing going to work is because I still don't believe Utah is trying to win games. So I don't see them wanting to bring in another guy.
Cooper Flag, huh?
They want that Cooper Flag boy. So I think they go sit there, because as good as Laurie Martin,
you really think they're gonna be in position to get Cooper Flag with
Laurie Martin? Because they're going to hold
him at the last 20 games of the season and just
they're going
possibly
they're going to
get hurt and just
one Laurie Martin injury and he gonna play. They're going to watch the game.
So it's possible.
I'm about to say, because Laurie Martin ain't like he the type of player that's going to keep them from losing enough games.
He's not going to take over no game.
No. So my thing is that they may event, because they go probably try to trade out Jordan Clarkson. They want to get rid of John Collins, but him by himself is not really something a whole bunch of people going to get, because you know how Dan Ainge is. He's trying to cut you for wherever you got. But John
why
Collins,
would they take the BI? Why would they take BI?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. To me, that's just the trade that people brought up that would help the Pelicans, and then they could probably, maybe, he get that to like use as another asset to trade something else. I don't know. I don't believe they'll do it. That's just something they push out there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
That's what I'm saying. I believe the more realistic trade, believable trade that can happen is the Jordan Hawkins for Walker Kessler, because that's a situation where Jordan Hawkins could flourish because they have no expectations and they don't have nobody in front of him. Like, they can afford the bullshit and not play well, and he could go out there and just shoot and do what the fuck he want to, because they're not trying to win anyway. And the worse he is and the most bullshit he do, the better they can get Cooper Flag and chip his ass about it anyway. But like
they would have to be extremely high on Jordan Hawkins too, because like I don't see the huge benefit.
But they don't
for him, like, unless we send him a draft pick or something.
Just to have another piece that you could probably
end up. Kevontae George, man, ain't chopped liver. They paying him about the same they would be paying Hawk. He plays the same position. He's 19. Unless they're gonna run him at point guard, then they still got Jordan Clarkson here.
But they're gonna get rid of him. They're not keeping Jordan Hawkins. Jordan Clarkson.
They probably would want to give us Jordan Clarkson and John Collins, and they'll let B.I. expire.
But that's not what the Pelicans wouldn't accept.
Why wouldn't they do that, J Black?
I'm saying the Pelicans wouldn't make that trade.
The Pelicans would do that in a heartbeat, but they ain't doing that.
Not for Jordan Clarkson, they wouldn't.
You can move
for Jordan Clarkson.
If they can find somebody to.
Utah can't get him now. I'm about to say Utah can't move. Utah tried to move the man last 2 years. Now they can't move him.
Yeah, but for BI, I think they do that.
I'm saying that the Pelicans would not do that. Because
the Pelicans would not do that.
I don't want Jordan Hawkins.
Because you already have You already have a log jam as it is with scoring guards. You need the big. You need Kessler. So trading BI to Utah for Kessler and Collins does not only just get you the big, but it also satisfies the type of defense Willie really wants to play, which is switch everything, because at some point now you can run minutes with John Collins, who, even though I'm not a huge fan of, he is a nice, athletic, big, power forward wing.
Then you wouldn't do that with all these centers.
With no big though, bro.
No big.
No. I said Walker Kessler. I said no. Well, see, the thing is,
you said Walker Kessler and John Collins.
John Collins, yeah. They don't have no big.
But they have. But I guess again, my thing is that they don't care enough. Like they still have bigs on there that could at least suffice for the season.
We could send them back Trey Jemison or something like that.
He don't make enough. He don't make enough money.
No, I'm saying like with BI. You doing this with BI.
That's not. That still don't make enough money.
Yeah, we keep. So you saying that's a power forward and a center. Then we have
John Thompson was playing center for him though. Like they would sub him out, Kessler Walker out, and put Collins in.
So no, I'm talking about Collins and Kessler.
Yeah. So you
for BI. So now you move Laurie Markin into center and BI.
I mean, you probably.
I don't care about they say. Matter of fact, I don't give a damn.
But like for the Pelicans, in a sense, if you have, because I'm about to hop off. For the Pelicans, in a sense, you have the starting
center.
The starting center in Kessler that's going to give you about 20 minutes. Then you got the guy and John Collins who he does two things. One, he can serve as Zion's backup as the 4. You also allow, like I said, with BI gone, you put Trey Murphy in the starting lineup, so you have that situation going for you. And then Willie, but with Willie again at the same time, one of the reasons why he and the whole JV thing did not fox a lot, because the defense that Willie and John Collins man want to play is a switch all defense. So now you have John Collins, who is 6'10", has long wingspan, and he's athletic, and he shoots well enough from the 3 that on the offensive side of the ball, that he's not the liability that even though JV wasn't a offensive liability, he was a spacing liability. So you have the spacing with him, like, so you have the 5 would be in the closing lineup would be John Collins at the 5, Zion at the 4, Trey Murphy at the 3, Herb at the 2, and then DJ at the 1.
Damn, so CJ not in the closing lineup?
No. Because your shortest dude now. Because think about it, you have, if Zion comes in with the same mentality defensively that he ended the season with, you have 3 guys. That's your shortest guy in that ending rotation is 6'5", which is
DeJounte
Murray. You had your 2 wings, your 2 guards. Each have 7-foot wingspan. That's 14 feet of just wingspan between him and Herb Johnson.
No, but the closing lineup, they'll put Herb in, I think, for defensive purposes.
But again,
the closing lineup gonna be about buckets. I mean, you're gonna have somebody out there.
It depends on the head coach. It depends on the head coach.
Again, you said it's about. You say it's about buckets.
I don't think you could sell CJ on that one.
No, but here's the thing. You had
whoever playing good gonna play late.
He is,
it's gonna be interchangeable. If that trade happens, that'll be interchangeable. It wouldn't be just one set.
No, but what I'm saying is that, like, again, I believe CJ is professional and that he understands, like, I make enough money. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Stuff like that.
Professional.
James.
Nah, you can't tell him on that.
Okay, hold on.
You can tell him on the start.
Again,
you can tell him on the start. You ain't telling them on that.
No, my thing is this here. If you sit there, you look at their rotation again. I just have more respect for CJ in regard to him understanding. But my thing is that
CJ level is not going to go for nobody.
But CJ is not.
But not closing.
But my thing is here, CJ one again. If you look, there's a difference in saying there's a guy in front of me that I feel is not better than me, that I could take his minutes compared, or that I should be out there compared to.
You think he feel like Trey Murphy better than him?
I think he understands. I think CJ. No, I think CJ understands that it's the things that Trey, Herb, Zion, Collins, and DeJounte Murray lineup does that I don't bring that. Like you talk about, it's about buckets. DeJounte Murray can get buckets. Trey Murphy can get buckets. Zion get buckets. Again, John Collins is a 38% 3-point shooter and an athletic person that can get 20 points and 10, 12 rebounds a game. You have the offense. And then Herb Jones, even though he's not this crazy offensive person, he still shot 40% for the 3-point. Even if he dropped to 38, that's still enough, because again, before KD got to before KD got to Golden State Warriors, their death lineup was Iggy, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So Steph Curry obviously was a bucket getter. But outside of that, you had Klay Thompson. He was a bucket getter. Guess what else he could do too? He could defend. You had Harrison Barnes. He could get buckets, but he wasn't on the same level bucket getter as the other one. But guess what he could do? He could also defend. Iguodala is the 6'8" dude that could get buckets and he could defend. And then you had the other guy who can't get buckets, but he could defend. And Draymond Green. But
you got John Collins who can defend, DeJounte Murray who can defend and get buckets. Yeah. You got Trey Murphy who can
defend. John Collins can get buckets though too. Is what I was saying. John Collins is not he's not, but what I'm saying, you said it's also about
but I'm buckets. Saying I'm focusing on defense. Like it's like if you take Herb out and you had CJ in the closing lineup.
I'm not taking Herb out.
It's not like we don't have no defense.
We don't, but at the same time is that
so you don't consider John Collins and DeJounte Murray and Trey Murphy?
I think they're gonna do the offense.
Zion can be defensively too.
They can do the offense defense,
especially as Zion is a good defender in the last 2 minutes.
That's my point.
People don't pay attention.
But see, that's my point.
They could do the offense defense, substitution, timeout.
But my point is that what I'm saying is that CJ can be in that lineup. But what I'm saying is that the optimum lineup that there is no, because at the end of the day, you can still.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying like CJ would have to be in those lineup if you own the team.
How about this? I believe, and me and DJ, you have a conversation. I'm sorry, that DJ. I'm sorry, I'm sleeping. DC, sorry, brother. I have a conversation with you on Twitter, but I'm telling you, CJ is not starting this year.
No,
he's okay with it,
James.
I know you hope he's not, but y'all don't believe that he's already accepted the scenario in which that he is going to be the sixth man, and also if again, this we only talking about a trade if they could get the lineup the way the lineup that they want to get. Currently, he may still be able to be in the closing lineup because we don't necessarily have that big and stuff like that. But my thing is here, because they traded for DeJounte, because you have your 2 wings, 3 wings now will still be out on there that are 6'9" and above, and all of them have 7 feet wingspan. And you have Zion, who he ain't going to the bench. He's not going to be in the starting the closing lineup because of his ability to break defense and stuff like that, even with him not possibly being a great defender. Like it's just going, unless it's a situation where, let's say Herb Jones is like he just having a terrible fucking game or something like that, then it's like, you know what, CJ, go in because we need the offense, and for some reason it's not working this particular reason. But again, if you have John Collins on your team, there's not unless somebody is hurt, there's no scenario that I see that the closing lineup will not include that 5, because there is no offensive hole to speak of unless Herb dropped down to a 29% 3-point shooter, and there's no hole defensively. So why would I introduce a guy in my lineup that can get picked on when I have an opportunity where I don't have any holes in this? Like, that's what I'm saying. And I think, and again, at the end of the day, I also believe CJ irresponsible and understand that, like, again, they benched him. He did not play for majority of that fourth quarter when the Pelicans came back and was about to beat the Lakers. Only reason why he got in the game was because of Zion getting hurt. And he was completely okay with not fucking. Well, the other time he got benched and they asked him about it, he said, I ain't fucking have it. I ain't have it. And that was the right call. Like, I just have, I guess, like I said, I just have more belief that he will be okay with it again, because he's getting paid and he's 32, 33 years old. Like, he understands his shelf life.
He should be, James. And you're absolutely right in theory. But I've watched CJ be out there with BI and Zion, and it don't take a rocket scientist to know that one of those two guys should have the most shots, and he consistently leads in games with shots.
I
put them two guys out there, so it's like.
But I put that on
so
Zion
many different
and Brandon
things.
Ingram from not getting the ball is the thing. Like, if you sit there, because we've seen plenty of time where Zion would get the ball and give it up, and it'd be sometimes like, bro, we need you to be more selfish. Like the same game I talked to y'all about OKC, the second game that they came back and lost. He was unselfish offensively and stayed focused mostly defensively down the stretch. And he did not attack, and he kept passing the ball to CJ, and the ball wasn't going in. And you could tell CJ was telling him, motherfucker, you got to go. Even after the game was over with, CJ told him, brother, I understand you did the defense and stuff like this here, but nigga, you are the nigga, and you got to go when we need a bucket. And then the next game, they played against the Milwaukee Bucks, and guess what happened? CJ gave him the rock, and he did what he was supposed to do, and he attacked the basket. I am putting that on Zion from not being selfish enough. Because if you're not going to take the shot, and if Brandon Ingram not going to take the shot, I can't be mad at the one motherfucker that will take the shot.
So when CJ run down court and he takes a shot when nobody touches the ball, that's because Zion didn't get it or P.I. didn't get it, and he's the point guard.
Yeah, he the point guard. But they be telling him to shoot shots like that. So that's halfway on coaches too.
I understand that they do.
Yeah, to get his rhythm or something like that. I'm just
saying, like, to me, a lot of things by CJ being an older player, the respect I had for him understanding the game, I thought it was, a given that he would be kind of more involved with getting those guys involved, right?
Nah, that.
But the unfortunate part is that they found out the hard way that it's not a situation that he don't want to or anything like that. It's more, but that's not his game. That's the reason why they asked him to play off ball this year, which he did until they didn't play.
All that's fine. But I'm saying all that to say I can't assume shit when it comes to CJ in that scenario, because you can look around the league, James, and I want CJ to be on the bench. I do. I hope that's the decision they go with, and I hope they're thinking like what you're saying. But you can look around the league, man. You look at players making $33 million. You ain't gonna find a whole hell of a lot of them not starting. Especially over somebody making $13 million.
I hear you, but there's also not too many teams. Like everybody said last year, we had 6 starters last year. And then it didn't get no easier this year. That we don't have 6 this year, but on the unfortunate part,
we got 7 this year.
No. They got the 6 because we don't have a starting caliber center. We still have
you gonna start the center.
Tyson's not a starting caliber center. He's not a starting caliber center. He's a good rotation center. He's not a starting. If Tyson was a starting caliber center, we wouldn't have the amount of people bitching about the center position.
I don't think he's not a starting caliber center. Far as somebody who can give you some stuff, I think it's just the fact that he's short. It's like we got all of these guys that's 7 foot. Something we got to go up against. And you got Tice sitting at 6'8".
But that's the point. Is that
we've seen him start and be solid, man.
He's be solid for a couple of games, but nobody is starting this man 82 games. Is the point? Is that if you see
what was he starting in Boston?
He was playing in Boston. It was Al Horford and Time Lord.
Before he got here. Before he got there.
Al Horford was with the Thunder, James.
Thunder,
about that.
Al Horford was the Celtics before he got Al Horford was there.
But he left before he left and got traded to the Thunder. I forgot for who. And then he wound up and went back to the Celtics. He didn't stay there his whole career. He went there from Atlanta, and then they moved him from Boston to the Thunder.
And then Time Lord was
there for a while.
And then Time Lord was the starting center until the only time Tice got to start.
Time Lord, who you calling Time Lord?
The man he's in Portland right now. He kept getting hurt. I can't think of the man's name.
Robert Williams was always hurt. But he was the starting center before Robert Williams took his spot.
No, he was a starting center until he got hurt, and then Tice came in there. Like they had got depleted at the center position because, like you said, Al Horford had left, and then he had to play because they had nobody else. They did not believe in him as a starting center. And then when they got back, and then they still had I'm just gonna call him man Time Lord anyway.
Time Lord.
Robin Williams. They still got him starting, and their whole plan was for to be their starting center and for Al Horford to either come off the bench or to play the 4. And the problem is that he could not stay healthy enough, so Al Horford had to play the 5 for the most part, and then they would have ancillary pieces of guys coming in like that tall, white, lanky, redhead white boy. I can't think of his name right now. That would come in and play center position because nigga didn't get hurt. And then if you think about it this way, guess what? They went out there and got who? Porzingis, and then what happened to Al Horford? He went to the bench. Like Tice has always been the same way that I can't think of what the other center name is, but he kind of remind me of Tice a little bit. I think maybe not Kelly Olynyk, but either way, it's one of them type of like 6'9", 6'10" guys.
You're talking about Brian Scalabrine.
No.
Kelly Olynyk.
No. That was a Cornet or something or whatever. Some tall white boy in the last couple of years that was on their team that he was not good at all, but he got more run than he needed to because they got depleted at the center position. But either way, Tice did get a lot of run, but again, it was in short spats and only because 2 of the 3 centers or whatever had got hurt and he had to play. So is he a good second guy behind a starting center? Absolutely, because I think he brings something that JV did not, with the ability to spread the floor. But at the same time, you still can't have him out there versus even some of the most average bigs for a long period of time. It's kind of like what's your boy name? Billy. Billy would come in, don't play for 20-some games, and then he'll come in and play well for a couple of games, and it's just like that's enough.
Well,
that 5 games you played is enough. Don't play no more.
So in 2019, 2020 year,
that's one of them years he was starting, bro.
He started 64 games.
Okay.
He played 65 games. He started 64.
Okay.
Then he went to Toronto, I believe. He was, I don't know. It looked TOT. I don't know what TOT is. I think that's Toronto.
No, that's trade. That's total. That mean they traded him at some point, and then the other. What you'll see, you on Basketball Reference, ain't you?
Yeah.
So the TOT just showed the total for the whole season, and then it'll be the top team of the list will be who he played with first, and then after that after TOT would be the team he eventually got traded to.
Okay, so it was Boston. He was at Boston for 42 games. He started 37, and then he went to Chicago. And he started. That was 2020, 2021.
Was that was before they got Vooch then?
Yeah. Then he got traded from there. Then he got traded from there and went to Houston.
And how many games he played or started there?
21 out of 26 games.
And he got traded again?
Yeah, he got traded right back to Boston.
And how many games he started then?
It went down 21 games he played, 6 games he started. And then he went to Indiana. It was 7 games he played, 1 game he started. Then it went to, he got traded again to Indiana, I believe. Indiana to the Clippers. And he played 60 games, and he only started 3.
So again, like the only place he started at for a long period of time was that year at Boston. That everybody got hurt at the center position. So like he's a good backup.
It was 2 years in Boston though.
2 years, okay, 2 years. I'm sorry, the first stint that he was it? Yeah,
he had like a couple of years. He was a star.
Was it? Okay.
It was 2 years.
He took over after the Kyrie era. I remember him being the center.
Okay.
They got off of Kyrie. And then Robert Williams emerged after that, and then Hoffman came back.
And they had another big too that used to play for Phoenix that was out there too. Like they were just throwing anybody out there at that point with the Celtics because they could
Taco Fall and all
yeah.
That.
Oh yeah, I remember that year. Oh
so,
yeah.
So they wasn't sold on him, or they was looking for something more. But my thing, I'm just saying he's a solid, starting center. Like he ain't gonna do too much, he ain't gonna do too little. He give you enough.
I think it's to him to a point where, like I said, I think he's good enough.
Is he a better fit than JV?
I think he can be. He can be in certain aspects, because what you got to remember with JV, what we lost the Steven Adams effect, and the Steven Adams effect was very timely, strong screen set, and man, that used to free up so much space for Zion, even though we didn't have a lot of shooting.
We're gonna miss that. We're gonna miss that rebounding a lot if the other guys don't pick that up.
But the screens that Tice set, man, he got his own little variation of a certain screen here.
That Gortat, he got that Gortat screen down.
He don't even really he'll be about to screen him, and before he even make contact, he just cut and roll to the goal.
That's the Gortat screen.
It sets everything up, man. Yeah. So I think he'll free up a lot of space for Zion just with that. And on top of that, can he not only do that, and I compare him to Steven Adams with the screen, he can shoot.
He can shoot.
We losing on the rebound.
Losing the rebound, but he can shoot though.
So Zion gonna have to rebound. Everybody in the starting lineup gonna have to rebound better, because it ain't gonna be on just one person. But I think DeJounte probably will be one of the better rebounding point guards we had.
Okay, yeah, I think he averaged. I think he averaged what 6 or 7 rebounds the last 2 years.
He's pretty damn good rebounder, man.
Herb Jones can pick his up.
Herb, that's the one area of his game I've been waiting to see explode, man. If Herb could become a next generation of rebounder, man.
Oh.
And see, my thing was,
I thought you were talking about playmaking.
And I about to say that too.
Well, playmaking, he can come up too, but I want to see the rebounds before playmaking.
Okay. That's gonna be more to fix. Yeah. And then with the Zion thing, is like I know everybody want to get 10 rebounds. I just want your number to go from 5 to 8. If you give me 8 rebounds,
that's what I said. I predict him to get about 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
Well, you gonna get 8? I say about 8 rebounds.
He's gonna have to. Yeah, and he's gonna have to.
Zion can have double-digit rebounds in the playoffs if he want to, bro. Like he turns it on when he need to get rebounds, and he just kind of coasts through for the rest of the year. But them games we need to win, go look at his rebounds. He always get a lot of rebounds when he playing all out in like a need to win game.
So do you think that the Daniel Tice that we seen in the Olympics and the Jose Alvarado we seen in the Olympics won't have a effect in the season?
No, because them dudes go over there and act. Now Jose does what Jose does, but like we see that them dudes go over there and fucking like lose they got their mind for their home countries and fucking play. Like the dude who was Evan Fournier ain't been on the team in like 3 years, and he was torturing niggas all FIBA. And then you got
he said he's staying over there. He ain't starting with no NBA.
He good over there. And then again, what's the dude that used to go to the hell, Patty Mills. Patty Mills is a prime example. He's a good role player. He's somebody you want on your team. but that motherfucker go over there in FIBA and the Olympics and be putting on like he's Steph Curry. So no, I don't believe none of that. I think he'll do what he's supposed to do when he get here, but I don't believe none of that shit they do in FIBA.
All right, any more questions? One last question, man. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. DJ showed up, man. So we're gonna have you go ahead and close out the show, man. You waited forever to show up. But anybody else got anything else they want to cover or any last remarks they want to go ahead and do before we close out the show?
I've got a question in my mind, not right now, but matter of fact, I do. Now, if BI is, will BI adapt? That's the if he doesn't adapt this year, because that's the main thing, adapting to taking more threes. Matter of fact, let's say he does adapt. He does adapt. He takes more threes. Will he be back next year?
Nah, he gone regardless.
I don't think him taking more threes will get him back next year. Hopefully it'll up his trade value. He would have to play otherworldly along with those more threes for them to consider that. I think the only way that BI can be back next year is if we just fumble through not being able to trade him at all by the trade deadline, and due to David Griffin's arrogance, I think we could see him sign some variation of a deal if he don't have a strong market, or them try to force the issue just to be able to get something back for him instead of losing him for nothing. Because this BI trade, we need to get something solid out of this, even if it's just draft picks, to be able to set up for the future to actually turn this team into a major contender. Like what we do or get with him is kind of imperative, and I think David Griffin knows that, and that's why you see all the slow footing and not really, trying to get off of him, or they were being really hesitant probably when they could have traded him. So
okay, that's all.
I think BI gonna ball out though, man. I think a lot of people gonna get to see what he can do. He's gonna come out there. He's gonna be a more selfish version of himself, but with us having a point guard that may help, and I think you're gonna see him get pretty solid numbers, and we find a way to trade him by the trade deadline.
Okay, that's all I want to know. That was my question tonight. Y'all enjoy your night. I'm getting off here.
All right, brother. Good to have you, man. Well, next time we open up the lines, come on back, Jay Black.
Well, yeah, I'll be back because summer's over now, so I can be back.
Any last thoughts, James?
Nah, I'm about to say I'm finna hop off too. Finna go ahead and hit the bed. Good talk with y'all again.
Likewise, man. Glad to have you back, bro. See you next time. All right, DJ, man. What's happening, bro? Where you at?
I'm right here.
I'm surprised you still up, big dog.
Man, y'all was talking outdoor dogs and everything. I'm late, so I catch y'all on the next one.
That's all right. Go ahead and give us the phrase that pays, man. We're about to get up out of here, bro.
All right. Well, go ahead on and like the video, share the show, hit the thumbs up button, and by all means, if anybody talk about our team and our Pelicans, you tell them in the New Orleans Pelicans to get the flock out of here and go flock yourself.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.